Go. Hey, everybody, this is Craig Kaminski from Sea of Tranquility, bringing you yet another episode of Album Homework Assignment. And look who I brought along for the ride is none other than the guitar hack himself. How are you doing tonight, Hack?
I'm doing Craig, man. Doing Craig. I'm doing well. God, I'm doing
You're
well, Craig. How are you doing?
good, good, and it's good to finally be on screen with you. I've seen
Yeah,
quite
nice
a
to
few,
meet you.
quite a few episodes with you, with your rankings and discussions with Pete and Martin, and I've watched some of your own videos. And for those of you out there who don't know, Guitar Hack has his own channel, and throw him a sub, throw him a watch. Check out lot. He has got lots and lots of videos on his channel with his showing his prowess on that Les Paul that you see in back of him, and also his amount of information that he has with his knowledge of music and everything. So please check him out on YouTube.
Well, thanks for the plug. Appreciate it, man.
So today we decided to exchange some things, some bands with each other. So um, do you want to go first, or do you want me?
I can go first if you like. Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Go right ahead.
Okay. So, if you want to show the CD, so
Yeah.
the CD that was suggested to me was the Dictators, Blood Brothers.
Hmm.
Which I'd never heard before, and I'd never heard of the band. They were around in the mid to late 70s. They put out four records, and then they kind of fell apart, and they did some stuff later on. And this was the third of their four records. They're from New York, and so the I'll just go quickly through the members of the band on this particular record because their members are kind of a changed a lot, but on this particular record, you have Handsome Dick Manitoba on the vocals, Ross the Boss, Friedman on lead guitar, and I'm going to talk a lot about that guy, of course, being a guitar player. Then you got Scott Top 10, Kemp Neffel, I believe, on rhythm guitar.
Kempner, yeah.
Oh, Kempner, sorry, I can't read my own writing. Andy Chernoff, bass and keyboards, and Richie Teeter,
Teeter.
Teeter on drums.
Yep.
So when I listening to this, immediate sort of impressions that I got, um, garage punk, sort of New York CBGB's vibe. Um, think of things like maybe like early Blondie, early Alice Cooper, got a little bit of that, New York Dolls, that sort of vibe. But what I gotta say is the bands that usually bands that play sort of that punk garage thing, that's sort of an element of kind of where, they're just learning how to play and they're just kind of learning their instruments and getting around and whatever. But one thing I noticed immediately about these guys is their level of musicianship was way, way up high. Like where these guys were playing this style, not because they were limited to playing this style, but because they chose to play this style. That's a big thing because the musicality that I was hearing, and the songwriting and arrangements and everything, these guys were like top, really top tier players and musicians. So that really impressed the hell out of me and kind of raises the whole level of everything that they were putting out on this record. Um, so I'm just gonna, I just made like single note kind of like impressions of the tracks and hearing them a few times. It's only nine songs on here, and they're all like 3 to 4 minute. There's the one 5 minute epic, which I'll talk about here in a minute. It starts off with the song called Faster and Louder. That's a very punky sounding song, probably one of the more punky sounding songs on here, but again, extremely well played, and a really catchy song. The second song, Baby Let's Twist, that is totally commercial. That's a song you can hear on the radio. That's got sort of that
It's got
earworm thing.
hooks out the window.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it's just
Mhm.
loaded with hooks, and it's a really, really cool song. You got Minnesota Strip. That's like that riff could almost be a metal riff, eh? Like it's like
And
this.
and you know what it sounds like? War Machine. It sounds
Yeah,
very similar to the riff for Kiss's War
the Kiss
Machine.
War
And
Machine. Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
put that's right. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Then you got Stay With Me. That's another really punky song. The one song on this record that I don't think really belongs on the record. It's sort of a little bit of a it doesn't match the vibe of the other songs as I Stand Tall.
I agree.
It's got like a sing along thing. It's the longest song on here. It's almost like it kind of reminds me of almost like a pop metal kind of thing to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit
I
of an
thought that
outlier.
one was kind of out of place as well. It's probably my least favorite song of
Yeah,
on the album.
it doesn't work within the context of the record. Then you got Borneo Jim. That's sort of rock and rolly, almost kind of boogie rock type of vibe I
Mhm.
get from that. Then you got What It Is. Now that is like power pop. Like that's something like the Romantics, like What I Like About You, that type of vibe, just really kind of really great riff and a pop hook over top. Then you've got Slow Death, which is the closer, and that is not nearly as poppy as the others. But where he sings is kind of like in a very odd place where he places his vocals. But the riff on that is really really cool. I mean, the whole record has got a really strong pop sensibility. I mean, there's a lot of these songs that could have easily been on the radio. Primarily Baby Let's Twist, that could be on the radio. Um, what did I mention? What else did I mention here? Just the tracks are just loaded with hooks. Handsome Dave, or sorry,
Handsome
Handsome
Dick.
Dick Manitoba, the singer. Um, the other thing I picked up, now he's got what I call a character voice. You've got singers that
Yeah.
have great singing voices, a la Freddie Mercury, right? And then you got guys that are just like have a real character in their voice. And this guy is more that type, and the way he delivers his vocals he's got the same delivery as Alice Cooper.
Mhm.
When I'm hearing him sing, like the way his inflections and his timing and the way he spits out the words, totally it reminds me of Alice Cooper for whatever reason.
I think
I
I think
like Alice.
Martin described it in his book in his collector's guide to heavy metals because that's how I first heard of this band. I'd never heard of them prior to reading one of Martin's reviews. I think he refers to his vocals as like quarterback style or something like that. It's like it's not
Yeah,
he's not really singing, but he's not yelling either. And
no.
but it works within the confines of the music, though, I think.
Yeah, no, it definitely works. I mean, the vocals are great, the playing is great, the recording itself, the production sounds really, really good. It's
Produced by Krugman and Perlman from Blue Oyster Cult. It's
uh,
the
it's
he did their 370s their 70s albums done by that.
the 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 crunchy, like there's two, you got a rhythm guitar and a lead guitar. The guitars sound really nice, really crunchy and just really great tone. And man, that Ross the Boss, holy shit, his guitar solos are phenomenal on this. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's
he's
great.
just really, it's that whole bluesy rock thing, but just played so well and so melodically, and they all just fit so nicely into the songs. Again, the way the songs are arranged, the bridges, the lead breaks, everything. It's just every song just is a nice, tidy little package. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it's with again that sort of pop sensibility over top of it. I mean, yeah, I really really dug this record a lot, and
Good, I'm glad.
oh no, this was great, man. I got to go back and listen to the other 70s albums that they put out, because if this is any indication, I would love
Yeah, I
these
think
other.
that the other two albums are a little different. Their debut, Go Girl Crazy from 1975, and then Manifest Destiny from 1976. They uh, they have some different types of sounds with them. The lineup is primarily same. I think the drummer might be different, and Mark Mendoza plays bass on the second
Yeah.
album, later of Twisted Sister, and they reformed not terribly long ago. The current lineup includes Andy Chernoff doing bass and vocals, Ross the Boss. They have a newer guy named Keith Ross who plays rhythm and sings some of the songs, and then they got Albert Bouchard on drums. from Blue Oyster Cult.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
so they
So
and
very,
they
very
put
New York,
yeah,
very New
they
York
put out a
centric.
self-titled album last year, which is pretty good.
Yeah, this is one of those records you wonder like what happened? Like why
And it
weren't
was on
they
a major label too. So I don't know.
why weren't they huge? I mean, they should have been, right? And you mentioned earlier that they opened for Kiss in a few shows back
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
late 70s. I'm
on
like, why
the
weren't these
Rock and
guys
Roll
big?
Over tour. Yeah, which is why I recommended them to you because of watching videos that you've done uh, with Martin and Pete. I knew that you were a Kiss fan and that you liked a lot of 70, yeah, and that you like a lot of 70s hard rock and some of the same some of the same things that I do. So I
Yeah,
took a chance and figured that this one might be up your alley.
like I mean, calling them, like I love 70s punk. I mean, I love the Sex Pistols and um, but you can't. These guys are just they're playing that style, but at such a high level. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like played, it's that type of music, but played by real professional musicians. I mean, it still sounds authentic and all of that, but it's just like they squeeze out every possible
yeah.
ounce of goodness you can out of what they're
And
doing.
and I have to say, Faster and Louder is one of my favorite opening tracks on like any album. It's probably top 10 in my book.
Yeah,
I
I
love
mean,
that song and just the way that it builds towards the end and then and everything. So
I mean
I just love it.
everything is good on the. I mean, the only songs that I would okay, I Stand Tall and maybe Borneo Jim, but apart from that, every track on here is on my Spotify, like all of them,
Cool.
right? Yeah, yeah. So thanks for that recommendation.
Oh no, 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 you're
That was
welcome.
awesome.
Glad you liked it. It's not my intention to recommend something that's crap just so that you can go, so that people we can brag on it. So now I really wanted to pick something that I hope that you would like, and I'm glad that you did.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
my pick and that Hack gave to me, I'm going to fire up the old Prezi here just so I can show the picture. This is Medieval Steel, and the album is called Gods of Steel. This is from 2022, and a fairly short album, only 43 minutes or so. And now, before I even started listening to this, I looked at the title and the cover, and I was like, "All right, it's power metal." And
Yep.
I'm not the biggest power metal guy,
Oh
but
shit.
no, that's okay. That's okay. But just judging without listening, I immediately thought, okay, power metal, So I like some power metal, but not all of it. But once I started listening to it, as a whole on all the songs that I'm listening to, what I hear, if you, the listener, including myself, if you're a fan of the more recent Judas Priest albums, I would say,
Yes.
from Redeemer of Souls, Firepower, Invincible Shield, and the more recent Saxon albums like Carpe Diem and Hellfire and Damnation, and some of those musically, it definitely really scratches that itch that if you the listener enjoy stuff like that, it's not like your Viking power metal type stuff, but then it's not like speed metal or anything either. There's some double bass in it, but it's not uh, overpowering. It fits within the song pretty well. The vocal, I don't have the band's lineup or anything in front of me, but the vocals reminded me of there weren't anything high pitched or screaming or anything. I could understand I could understand the lyrics. Kind of reminded me a little of like Ralph Sheepers, a little bit of that type sound, his style, or kind of like how Rob Halford, but not in his like mid range,
Yeah.
not painkiller vocals. So I mean, kicking off with the title track, "Gods of Steel." Right in my notes, I wrote Hammer and the Anvil. because that reminded me of Judas Priest, Between the Hammer and the Anvil from their Painkiller album.
Yeah.
But it had kind of power metal vocals, but not of a sickening type where I want to jump out the window, with things. I kind of have a short fuse with certain types of power metal if it's too like happy or swinging your beer stein type stuff, and that's really not what this was. So that was good. Kill the Pain. Second track is like a melodic sort of power metal song, had some groove to it, which I liked. Not your atypical, head banging, pounding, had some melodic groove to it like that. Gypsy Dancer, another melodic one, slightly faster, than compared to some of the other songs. Again, nothing goes total speed metal, but there's no like real ballads on this either. You kind of like have a happy medium, mid-paced, for the most part, or songs that kind of have like a start stop, with the tempos and everything. Soldier of Fortune, the fourth track, that one reminded me the most of like that sounded almost kind of like an 80s sounding song. I don't mean that in a bad way. An 80s sounding song. That reminded me of my notes here. I said fist pumping, kind of melodic, retro sounding, more than the other songs I thought. Uh, there's a song called Stargazer. It's not a cover of the Rainbow
Oh,
song, just coincidence. That one's all right. It's a nice melodic song. Memories, again, just judging by the title, I was like, okay, that'll probably be the ballad or maybe a little bit slower. It sort of was. I mean, and had some acoustic parts in it. I thought that were tasteful and well done. I like that. When Mountains Fall is a like a slow grinder. That kind of reminded me of Judas Priest's "Worth Fighting For" from their Angel of Retribution album. So kind of not slow, but not mid-paced either. It was kind of in that happy groove there. I like that one. Two songs then in a row that sounded kind of similar, and these reminded me of very much of more recent Saxon, but just with younger sounding vocals, and that's Great White Warrior and Man Eater. Both had they have a similar tempo, but again, if you, the listener, enjoy especially the more recent Saxon albums, which I definitely do, for personal preference, I think you'll definitely enjoy that. Last song is called Satanic Garden. That's probably the heaviest song and the fastest one. That had like a start, stop, fast and slow to it. But again, not terribly long, only 3-4 minutes or
yeah.
so. So they pack a lot of punch inside the confines of that song, but really well done and good. So nice. I thought it was a nice choice. It's heavy, but not like run into traffic, flip tables heavy, but
Yeah.
not, and it's sort of power, like I said, kind of power metally, but not like
It's not obnoxious.
not like Euro power metal, like not like your Sabatons or Hammerfall or things like that.
You know,
So
I
I
start
thought this was very well done.
the first statement you made, I started laughing because it was exactly what I was hoping you were going to pick up. This is this is firepower. This is invincible shield. This is uh the most recent Saxon because that for me is what this record is. It's that
Yeah,
whole vibe, that style, almost to the point where you could put Rob Halford singing on this record, put Judas Priest on it, and it would probably go over quite well.
yeah, yeah. I agree. It does definitely have
Yeah.
that sound to it. And again, if you enjoy that type of sound and everything, I think this will definitely be up your alley. They do have some other albums
Yeah.
in addition to this. And I'm not sure if this is their most recent one. They might have one that's after this one. But yeah, check this one out. Gods of Steel by
I
Medieval Steel.
I came across that record just by fluke, and I checked it out, and I didn't think I was gonna like it looking at the cover, but then I listened to it because I mean I love Priest and Saxon, and I listened to this and I'm like, holy shit, this is like the record that Priest never made.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I did read a little bit about these guys. These guys were like they've been trying for a long time and they've never broken through. They had some success in Europe, but they've never, like, nobody knows who the hell these guys are. And
Okay.
funny enough, in their formative years, they were a Judas Priest cover band.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So that might explain some of it. But yeah, they just never really broke through. But they've managed to put out records. I haven't listened to their other stuff. This record absolutely blew me away. I'm like, because I love this type of music and I wish
Mhm.
there was more of it. Because like yourself, like the whole total power metal thing I can't go through get into. I like some melody, I like some a
Mhm.
little bit of variety, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
these guys they just tick all the boxes for me. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed this record. I figure if somebody's a Priest fan or a Saxon fan, they would like this record as well. So there you
Yeah,
go.
I definitely some of the guys on Hudson Valley Squares. I know Rob Lasanti is a is a big Priest fan and everything. I'm sure he would definitely enjoy this, and Pete as well. I think he would totally dig this as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, so good. We got two recommends
Who
out of here
knew?
by blind luck. Who knew? Who knew? Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, this was cool. This was a nice exercise, and like I said, and I'm glad both of us picked things that each other likes.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as it's kind of funny to watch somebody, destroy something. I kind of the intention of this is to is
Yeah.
to is to show something that you like
I
or
feel
whatever.
bad because the first one I did, I got a record that I just could. It was horrible.
Well, and I knew from watching your video the other day of videos that you just don't like, and it's like, well, okay, I'm not going to send Hack King Diamond or Merciful Fate because he made his point well known on that, and I'm not gonna send him any of those or something that sounds similar to that. So it's like I
Yeah.
don't I
I
won't
love the music.
I won't torture the poor guy. He doesn't like the lyrics or he doesn't like the vocals, and that's okay. It's like we
love the
can't like
music.
everything.
Get
So.
Dio singing that stuff, and I'm in.
All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in and visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Uh, in the link down below, make sure smash that goddamn like button and
Yes.
click the links there for merch and subscriptions and all that stuff, and give Pete some love. He needs it. So thanks again to Hack for this experiment here on album
Thank you.
homework assignment, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Cheers.